wrap here in a second.
Yeah.
Yep, we're live.
5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Today, you guys maybe take down Einball. Maybe. But first, last time we were playing, you were all shopping. So you guys met up with Herondadrol, and we're like, we're gonna take one more swing at this mofo. And you left and went to the local uninfested town of Hadley. And there you guys did some shopping. I think that there was a little bit that folks wanted to finish up. And I think Wretch was looking for that banner of faith if Emery could help him out with her charming presence, so to speak.
Yes, sir. I also had a few things earlier in the chat that I had asked about.
Sure, you'll have to just remind me on those, and we can get them taken care of.
Sounds good. So it's a streetwise?
Streetwise.
Let me see if I can find a banner of faith for my good rat friend.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. 3 success, 2 advantage.
You needed
That's
2
enough,
success.
according to what I was told.
Absolutely. In fact, she manages to smooth talk the local keeper of the monastery into getting you a $50 discount.
Woo! Thanks, Emery.
You're welcome.
Now, what else did you guys want to take care of?
So I had asked to retcon and buy an alchemy kit.
I just remembered we've got a cow now.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, you do. You do have a cow.
Oh, that's so fun.
Friar Bertram. That's his name. Sorry.
Thank
He's head of the school for pages. Anyways, so you can go ahead and give me a streetwise check for the alchemy table. I just have to go into our resource here. What the hell is it called? Is it equipment and shit?
It's called additional gear. Kind of a weird.
Character sheets, cheat sheet, talent sheet, setting, alchemy, gear. There we go.
Yeah.
Gear. I'm just looking for its rarity. You haven't have that pulled up.
Alchemist kit, its rarity is 5.
Okay. So I'm gonna do a hard. No, I'll do an average difficulty for this.
2 and 2.
You are unable to find an alchemy kit.
Okay.
Would you like
Wow.
to? You can spend an extra couple hours if you would like to continue to look.
I already made some stuff, so I was trying to retcon that. So I kind of
Sure.
think I gotta take a few extra
So
minutes to do
yeah,
that.
let's say that over the course of the day, well, not the whole day, but over the course of the day, as you're trying to find this stuff and piece it together, you do end up coming across the parts. It just takes a lot longer than you expected, and it's going to come in at 1.5 times the price listed.
Okay, so stupid math. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, I gotta pay 9 gold for this bad boy.
Right.
That is expensive, but I deserve that.
Making things out of... Oh, crap, she's frozen.
Yeah, I've been having issues.
She's...
Josh, you have yourself muted, or do I have you? Okay, never mind.
I have myself muted.
Here.
She's back.
I should be.
She's back.
She's back.
She's back. Cool. One too many things open, I guess.
Unfortunately, I'll have to close the gear sheet in just a second.
No problem.
Yeah, and then the recipes.
Recipes. Yes.
For a health potion and a stamina potion.
Yep.
Which I don't know how. Fine, I'm gonna close the thing so
Yeah, I'll pull it up for you. So those will be just as like on the cheat sheet. Actually, I think this is off. There we go. The recipe cost and rarity is equal to the actual potion. So for a health potion, you are looking at it's gonna be $50. And now the healthy looks there we go. Rarity 3. So that
5 success. 4 success, sorry. I got overzealous.
3 is 1. Yeah, that's impossible for me to do anything with. So yeah, you absolutely pass. I'll say with that many successes, you find both of those recipes.
Yeah.
With my 2 unanswered threat, though, it is 20 total silver.
It's what?
20 silver total more.
More than what? What is it?
Then the 50 for each. So it should be 120 for both recipes.
120 for both. Okay. Why do I have 50 gold in parentheses? What is that? Okay, whatever.
Cool. And then the alchemy kit is probably an encumbrance, so just keep in mind that we might have to put that on the cow.
Yes. Can I put it on the cow, please? Good sir.
Is it 1 encumbrance?
Yes.
Elk kit. Not an alcohol kit.
Different.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else folks were hoping to do before setting out? At this point, it is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you guys got about a day's travel. So we're talking like 16 hours.
I gotta buy some rations, I just remembered. So I'm gonna buy
Sure. I believe they are
10 rations.
2 silver apiece, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's 20 silver. Oops, 20 silver. Okay. I'm giving him a 5 silver tip. 'cause I
Didn't
don't
your
wanna
cow
keep
have like
track of 5
all
silver.
of our rations now?
Yeah, the cow is carrying a total of 37 at the moment.
Okay. Because
But I'm not
no
going to
longer
eat
have
wretches
them
because
on
there's
my
no
sheet.
meat in it.
Get some extra rations myself.
I replaced that a while ago
Sure, you did.
with tofu.
That ain't meat.
Could be if you close your eyes.
It's the meat of the bean.
I'm not closing my eyes with meat anywhere near my mouth.
I don't know what I would do. Okay. So yeah, as you guys wrap up this kind of prep phase, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, give or take, we'll say 12 hours of travel. That's kind of what you're looking at. You get there. What do you want to do?
12 hours to get back towards Belchester.
12 hours to get to Bilchester from here. No, we said, we'll say, yeah, 12. Given a standard on foot sort of pace.
Yeah, I think we would want to make sure that we have time to plan and there will be bright sunlight when we get into town.
Mhm. I'd like to get near town and then I could like make my summon before going in so that I don't waste more resources trying to keep it up. If that works.
Yeah, I figure that we are probably not going to catch him alone, but he is by far the biggest threat in town, other than wherever the phylactery for Iblis is
Iblig.
Mm-hmm.
Ibelig. Mixing it with some H.P. Lovecraft. Ibelig, whoever that phylactery is, that's like the second biggest, the biggest threat probably, but catch Iron Vol out, and we hit him hard and fast, and gank him in the sunlight. Or if we get him in a building, make sure that there is sunlight streaming in.
Mm-hmm.
Get him during the bright and early morning time.
Yeah, he'll be too sleepy to fight back.
I'll just make a big hole in the side of his house.
Something like that. I've got a pocket siege weapon, but I got unrelenting. So if I get the drop on him, because I can turn invisible, and I land a hit, I can hit him again for 4 strain.
A couple of context items for you guys. You are in the middle of a bud wake. A bud wake is it's like monsoon season but less intense. It's just rainy for a long period of time. Not heavy rains. Kind of like Washington, which the rain saturates and kind of washes out magic in a way like electricity, where it's like conductive and displaces it and makes it kind of harder to focus on things that are either your own magic or like targeting someone. So things like enchantments and stuff like that kind of start to short circuit a little bit here and there, that sort of stuff as well. But something to keep in mind about your environment currently.
Yeah,
Nash ain't give a damn about that.
I mean, I can't invisible very well with that going on, I think.
It might be that things for a minute instead of 10,
Yeah, but Ilya doesn't know that, so.
Yeah, it'll be a problem for my summons, I would imagine, right? So.
Well, Belchester is a small town, so we just have to surveil it from a distance and have some flyovers.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Alright, let's go!
So you guys head out. About, at this pace, you'll get there about 11 o'clock at night. How far away would you like to stop? And at what time, roughly speaking?
So, how far were we from town? So we were found and picked up by one of Lord Einvol's servants, the mechanical rat guy. Remember that correctly?
He's a rattan, but he's not mechanical by any means. He was just described as well dressed, kind of a servant of the house, so to speak.
Okay,
I can't remember. Are we in
misremembered that.
Hadley right now?
You are in Hadley. Yep.
So we're about 15 miles from Bilchester.
Yeah, it's about an 8 to 12 hour walk.
Yeah, so I would want to be.
Go to bed early, wake up at noon, or wake up at midnight and head out.
Yeah, I want to be there with enough time to do recon, and then if there is a pocket of daylight, to take advantage of that to attack Einball.
All right. So what time do you want to get there?
Well, one about to sunrise.
So
About 8.
I would say dawn is at like 6:30.
Yeah, I would want to get within like 2 or 3 miles from there. I'm not sure, like, what timing would that give us if I were to end up
time is
like
it
2 miles
now?
away.
It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So if we wanted to get there for first light, we'd have to leave here at like 7.
Yeah,
But I would like
And we'd be
Potentially-
traveling through the night.
to be able to do a short rest as we're there, because then I could have my summon come out, like my elk or my porcupine or whatever. Maybe my bear if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Did you guys want to head toward there and then camp, or did you want to stay at an inn or something like that in Hadley, and then set out from here?
If we head out now, we could get to within a couple miles, sleep until morning. Because if we leave now, stop
babe.
about an hour out,
Baby doll.
then we should be able to fit in at least a short rest.
Max requested that we bring back some cardboard.
Oh,
Just cardboard.
Yeah, they're trying to kill the lawn to lay down some garden stuff.
You're not muted.
Dustin, mute!
What? I had my microphone turned off. How was I not muted?
Apparently, you're not using your microphone.
That's
What?
Hilarious.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
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 Oh no!
Oh no!
That's not what I want.
How much cardboard do you need?
It's not for me. It's for my older sibling. That was supposed to be a secret conversation. It's because I had my webcam plugged in.
That's
So I don't.
Just mute yourself on Discord.
Anyways, I think.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had it set to the webcam. Now it's my actual microphone. And I would mute myself on Discord, but it makes the bloop bloop sound every time, and that's really obnoxious.
Nice.
That's valid.
So back to Andrew's question, I guess at this point.
What was it?
Could just travel through the night till we get to about an hour away.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if we could leave
Okay.
now, camp about an hour out of town, and we should be able to fit in at least a short rest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's do
that's a
that.
good idea.
Okay. So you guys are gonna head out now
Mm-hmm.
and camp about an hour away from town.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Uh-huh.
You guys set off down the road, unless you say otherwise.
Yeah.
Bebopping along at a normal pace then. And you guys get about the twilight hour. And we'll call it like 8-ish at night. Well, no, let's call it, 8-ish at night. And a carriage is rolling down the road towards you guys.
We want to get out of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there any kind of like a tree line or anything nearby?
Fields.
Or are we in like the
Give
prairie?
me a survival check to see if there's something that you can stash yourselves behind, so to speak.
Let me
I look
see.
for mud.
There is survival.
You and your mud.
Mud! Go ahead and give me a roll.
Mud
All
to
right.
mud, and from mud to mud.
We're
let's
in the
see.
desert. I got 3 advantage. There's nothing big enough for me to hide behind.
Yeah, the crops in this area
I got 3 success.
have been decimated. What did you say?
I got 3 success.
Okay. And then Mud
So-
Boy?
Question: would this be knowledge people?
This would be survival.
All right.
Is there anybody around us that can make mud?
Any farmers that would have mud? All right, 2 and 2.
Okay. Yeah, there's a ditch that's got enough rainwater that's kind of marred it and whatnot, and some reeds that you could probably stow yourself away. And there's a rock big enough to hide Ilya. That's kind of like a mad dash to get to, but you could hide yourself behind that. Unfortunately, Nash is standing there and he looks left, he looks right, and he's like, these aren't gonna work for me.
So yeah,
And Emery
So,
ducks behind him. No.
my backup plan was that I already have my cloak on because it's the rainy season. So I'll
Mhm.
just pull my hood up and over, and I'll be like standing on the opposite side of my cow off the side of the road. Like digging through, pretending to dig through the saddlebags or something.
Yeah, there's also the cow, Bull, which is not
Bull.
confusing whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
I am officially mud turtling.
All right.
Can I also fit behind the rock with Ilya, or is it a one-person size rock?
Why don't you give me a coordination check to see if you can
Oh,
dash over
sure.
there and
Me.
or a stealth, or I would allow a stealth.
Well, find your own damn hiding place.
She's the kind of person that got everybody else caught during hide and seek.
100%, yes. This might be very bad. Okay, I'll try to stealth. 1 and 2.
Okay, you are attempting to hide behind the rock with it.
Great, I'm sorry, everyone.
As the light is fading away in this pre-dusk time period, the cart slows, and you can see that there is a white flag being flown. Actually, sorry, a yellow flag being flown. It is a symbol of parlay.
Who has the most
Ash
presents?
is very distracted, supposedly.
Well, Nash
So
is...
he's just gonna kind of like nod at them.
Turtles don't have the greatest diplomacy.
From that distance, you after the pause, you hear a horn sound. It's more of like a whistle sort of thing. They are reaching out in kind of contact at this point.
So I'm going to assume it's still only me that they are aware of. So I'm just gonna kind of, while still looking at my saddlebag, just go, "Hi, what do you need?"
With that, the cart slower starts to putz in your direction, and you can start to make out you can slowly start to make out two forms sitting in the coach seats. As they get closer, they strike a note of familiarity for you. As they get even closer, a woman waves her arm in your direction. They're maybe 50 feet away when they stop. And Wretch, you're in the ditch pretty close by. I would say you are maybe 15 feet from Nash. And you other two, the rock that you're behind is a little further away. It's maybe 25 feet into the field. But perpendicular to where the coach is. Next, Nash, next to the woman is a rat, and you make out that this is
Oh, son of a bitch.
This is Jacqueline, and Sigourney.
Got it. Definitely
Sigourney Reaver.
Sigourney.
So yeah,
Sigourney Skeever, because it's a rat.
Their name's just going to be different every single time, slowly cascading into some craziness.
Now, I don't know if they saw me when we went back after my transformation. I'm going to continue what I'm doing. Do they say anything? Otherwise, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I gotta roll something. I need the three of you who are hiding to roll stealth.
I bet you do.
Emery, do not sneeze.
1 and 1. Is
Stealth,
that
you
a
say?
sneeze?
That's at least a hiccup. That's like,
Want to know?
oh god,
Hi, guys.
turtle starts splashing.
And Ilya?
1 and 3.
We're great at this.
He burps.
Emery, I'd like to say I don't sneeze. Emery is just like too curious for her own good, and she's like peeking around the rock a little bit to see if she can see who it is.
Don't say that until we know you failed.
You hear the I wouldn't say elderly woman, but definitely on the waxing side of her years. Woman with her gray hair and her wools and her linens of fine cut, but still of humble cloth. Speak up and go. I wish that times could be as charming as when we hosted you, Bull. Maybe at least your day has gone well.
Bull. My name is Nash.
That is what you would like to be called by? It will certainly grant you the courtesy of using such namesake, but forgive me if I'm still out of habit referring to you by your old name. And who is this one? She gestures towards the cow.
This is Bull.
Ah! Very charming. So, I thought we left off in a good place, you and I. But it is my understanding that things are not as settled with Lord Einval and the rest of you and your merry band. I came as one in kind with Frior. I pray that I can turn your mind from further violence. Frior is the god of home and hearth.
So I'm going to continue with. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to or who you think I am. I'm just standing here trying to find something that I think I lost when I was back in town. So I'm digging through my saddlebags, trying to concentrate because it's a very small item.
Oh, well,
So if you could
sure. I mean, so go and could certainly
continue
help.
on your way.
Would you happen to know anyone in this area who would be willing to talk about such matters? Perhaps in the ditch or behind rocks.
The mud turtle's gonna poke her with a holy icon.
You're going to poke her from that far away.
So
Oh, I'm
you're-
coming.
Big holy icon.
I like this.
So you're
this
in-
muddy cannonball comes out of the weeds. Ah!
Yeah. So
I'm scuttling. No, scuttling's too fast. I'm waddling over, still full mud turtle. So this is a 3 mile an hour
Mhm.
approach with a little holy icon and one of my little turtley fake flippers. Just gonna tap her,
Okay.
tap her ankle.
as you scuttle closer towards the carriage, she looks down towards you, and you see the discoloration of her eyes as it gets darker out. There's a yellowness to them that seems to cut through the darkness. And she almost, as she sees you slowly like pull out the amulet, the eyes kind of flash. And she looks at you and goes, to assault someone under a banner of parlay. There's no place for you in this world doing such. However, if you
In
wanna
my
talk-
best, sorry, in my best impersonation of a turtle, I'll respond. You know, sorry, you know, 95.72% of people would not consider such a thing an assault, unless you're a heathen.
I'm just gonna walk out from the rock.
I'm
Or a
gonna like a
ghoul.
surprised like cough laugh and then like step out as well.
You are right to think that some folks aren't as partial to your god as others, and that we may even be a minority. But you would be wrong to say we don't at least abide by the laws of chivalry. Those are what separate us from animals, do they not?
I'll stand up and let the mud sloth off of me. Obviously, there's still some left, but like the biggest chunks could fall off. I'm like, all right, enough of this. You gonna try and stop us from killing your boss? Because otherwise, I don't really know what we're gonna talk about here.
We can't let Einval live.
My friends
You know
are
what he's done. We know what he's done. There's something or someone else that's controlling him, and we can't let that stand.
You do know what he's done, right? I know my friends sound harsh, but you couldn't have seen the whole truth, could you? I kind of am giving her those like, you seem so nice eyes, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you trying to read her response, or would you like to? Are you trying to press upon her this notion of standing out of the way?
I'm trying to like convince her basically that her boss is a bad guy, or charm her basically.
Yeah. So you can roll charm, and Ilya and Wretch can each roll either charm or leadership.
Can I roll scary
Um,
just for being there?
no.
Oh. I got 1 and 1.
3 and 1.
I got literally a triumph, so I guess you would want me to phrase that as 1 in a triumph.
Correct. Thank
Okay.
you. I've come because I saw in you a zealous fire. And I think that somewhere in you, at least in the nature of Nash's previous visits, and in the concern in you, Wretch, and in you, Ilya, and in the kindness I see in you, Emery. I don't think you want to butcher this whole.
If you can't see that, then you need new glasses, lady.
I don't want to butcher this whole town.
No, we don't want.
And I chime in with it. I was absent for the last fight.
No, we don't want to kill anybody in the town, but Einval is turning his people into ghouls by contaminating the grain, and it's not just Einval and what he did. I understand his motivations on a visceral level, but I also understand on a visceral level what it means when your desire to do the right thing is outpacing your reasoning when you're trying to understand what you're doing to achieve that. He wanted to save his people, and that is the highest calling. And I believe absolutely that his intentions were pure. But the Lord Einval, who played with dark forces beyond his imagination or understanding, and who was willing to go to such extremes as to turn his people into ghouls, that's not the same Lord Einval that we're after. And it's not just turning people into ghouls. There is another monstrous thing at play, a parasite that is using him and his noble intentions to cause greater harm, especially knowing that that grain will end up in Lemoore.
Tell you what. There's a few things that you should know. First, there are contingencies, Wretch, should I not return. And there are far worse ramifications and far stronger loyalties out there than what the ghouls can manifest.
And what if we get there?
Choose to break the laws of chivalry.
No
And
one's
what if
talking
we
about
get
the
there
laws.
before you were expected back?
Sorry, what was that?
What if we were to get back to town before they were even noticed that they were missing?
Are you asking me, the DM?
No, that's what I was intending to ask her. But you asked me to repeat myself, so I was just clarifying.
Well, if you were to arrive to town faster than this carriage could have taken me, then you will find yourself amidst a village of folks who are forearmed with a fear and hostility towards you. But there are 3 different types of people in Bilchester. Some who just want to protect their home. Some who want no part in what it has become. And those who have accepted Iblig with fervor. If you promise to keep your core with Einval, and only Einval, we might be able to come to an impasse. Be able to get past our impasse. I do not believe that everyone within the village is a lost cause. And I believe there are some that can be persuaded to head north to go meet their god. Ones that you would have no desire to stay around here.
What if the scary thing with all the wrong body parts?
They too will go north.
Wait, the phylactery of Ibelig?
The totems to Ibelig.
Totems?
They-
More than one?
Oh, there's more than one. But, again, they are on a quest of self-destruction. I can take them north into the Winterlands, never to be seen again. And they will relish that opportunity. And Bilchester will be left with folks who just want to live there, and including one such person, a good man. And that good man is the Einval that stands between you and the bad Einval. Einval wants to keep his people safe. He believes he is doing the right thing, but you're right. There's certainly blurred lines there. He is like a child to me. But I'm willing to, in the name of meeting a common ground, well, I'm willing to step aside. He will not come with me to the north. That is the good man in him. But he will not stop what he is doing, and that is the bad man. I will take the zealots north. And with that, the town will be less, much less than it ever was. No longer a problem in your eyes, and you won't have as much butchery ahead of you.
So if you are going north, where do you intend to go, and what do you intend to do?
I
The
intend,
Winterlands, my home.
I intend to sacrifice all of the ghouls to Ibalig himself.
Does anybody know what that means?
That doesn't-
Ibalig is a force of the end times, and there's no way to know that the thing behind what's going on in Bill Chester, the thing that groomed Einval and drove him to this path of evil. No telling that that's related to Ibalig, but if that solves the problem, at least to the presence of the ghouls.
I don't love letting a disease spread because it fears the cure that is at hand.
Oh, this won't spread. By its very nature, will burn itself out. You will be left with those who are not willing to leave their home and want to defend it. They you will have to take care of. Those who want no part in it, will shutter their windows. And if I leave now, turn around, and you come in the morning, then you will have safe passage to the manor, where you can deal with those who have chosen to stay.
The
But
minor, sorry, go ahead.
But I will have your oath here on whatever agreement we come to in parlay, or so God's help me. I have carriages that will go to Lemoore, that will go to Holdenford, and pass the message that you have slain under a yellow banner.
Enough of that. No one's slaying you under your banner. All
Yeah,
we've said, the worst anybody said, which is me so far. I don't speak for my teammates, but the worst I said is that I'm coming for you, but that doesn't mean this second, so calm down. Second, I don't like this at all. I'll defer to my colleagues and not act rashly. But I don't know of many cults that go off and sacrifice to heathen gods and stay there.
So, just so we're clear, I don't want to come into your town and slaughter innocent people. I don't want to. I'm trying to solve a problem here, and if it doesn't require me to kill half of a town of innocent farmers and people just trying to live their lives, then absolutely. But I want it understood loud and clear that when we go into that town, when we leave, Einval will be dead. And there's no other option. We are going in there to kill Einval because, like you said, he won't stop. and the good in him that drove him to make those decisions was not enough to stop him from the path that he's going down. He needs to be put down.
If your zealous fire can be contained to the sacrifice of Einvald alone, then we will not stand in your way.
That's what we want. That's what I want. And I want to speak for the teammates, especially knowing what's probably ahead of us.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear completely what she said.
If your zealous fire can be contained to Einvald alone, then we won't stand in your way.
Yeah, I think so. And so long as we're not going to attack anybody but Einval. But if, like you said, there are those who, if somebody in the town zealously defends him, and it comes down to our lives or theirs, we won't have a choice. Again, we will not attack. We'll defend, but we'll not attack. The only person that we intend to attack and kill is Lord Einval.
Then I'll inform
Do you
the
know a
citizens.
way of separating the two?
Absolutely. I can do it. I'll inform the citizens that anyone who wants to stand with Einval should post up in the manor, and everyone else to stand down. You've agreed to leave Bilchester in peace, as long as that is maintained.
That works, but I was referring to separating the two Einvals.
No,
they're
that's
speaking metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically. There's just the duality of the character.
Well, then, if you can pull your weight and try and get citizens out of our way, we can keep collateral to a minimum.
I have a question, like, lore-wise, I guess. So they're, like, I guess does Emery know anything about Ibelwig? Like,
I'm
because we've
curious as to what you're exactly asking, because you have learned some things about him, and I don't want to just recap everything.
No, so, like, because she's talking about, like, you know, these guys want to go, like, they're not going to fight it, they just want to go and see, and, like, sacrifice to him, sacrifice themselves to him, type of a thing, and so I guess from that perspective, it's like, are we making a bigger problem, or, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
or is that a legit thing, or,
Go ahead and roll knowledge dark.
Because I'm mostly weirded out by the big, like, that we're not going to attack the giant obvious monsters. Like, you know, like, we're letting those go too, so...
Well, those aren't civilians.
She's taking them with, though.
She's considering them.
Yeah, the other concern I guess I would have is letting them leave town. Is that any better than what Einval's doing?
Yes.
Well, that's kind of the point Rich was trying to make, is that their how I feel as a character, pretty similar to how I feel as a player, but as a character, I feel Rich feels like they're just scapegoating Einval to go do evil shit elsewhere. And it's like, listen, if you just kill our Patsy, we'll go somewhere else and do all this evil stuff.
But
Rich is like, absolutely not.
There's a reason he's such a good Patsy, though. It's because he is at the center of this.
Because, keep in mind, remember, there's a difference between being a ghoul, which is not contagious, and setting up a ghoul factory, which is spreading the contamination, spreading brains, any brains, of sapient creatures into the food matter and actively passing that on, right? So, one of the big problems with Bilchester is that it's a food hub that is actively being contaminated by a rogue agent with known business associates.
Yeah,
I'm fine with shutting that down, but do we really let the others leave?
Yeah.
Well,
yes,
you can roll
I think so.
Dark.
Knowledge dark.
Yeah.
I think that I mean, it's pushing a potential problem down the road, but we do have a very urgent issue that we can't take care of otherwise. Because if they go into town and warn everybody and say, okay, these guys are going to come in and slaughter everyone, that drastically reduces our chances.
For success.
Unless she does what she says she's going to do and separate everybody.
Right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean is if she does what she's only going to do that if we swear an oath to target our wrath at Einval.
Yeah. What you know about Iblig is he's the chained profane, kind of. I wouldn't say god of, but because gods are different creatures, but he is the profane of meat, right? And what that means is that his whole shtick is everything around him basically loses all magical properties, etc., and reduces it to its most raw elements, right? And that's why he's chained and not killed, is because he was like killing gods, right? And so there is not really a like you guys are gonna go deal with Ibalik, right? There are cults out there all over the place. Where ghouls are, ghouls worship Ibalik. Yeah, there's an element of trade here, right? Either you can be like, no deals, fuck off, and then you have to deal with all of the zealots in town, the ones who are very, very like as far gone as ghouls will go. They will be there, right?
Ghoul's got a ghoul.
Ghoul's gonna ghoul. They
Fool
will
and
be
ghoul,
there,
if you will.
and then everyone in between, right? So you'll have the people who are like, I'm bullied to be here. You'll have the people who are like, I'm misinformed, but I like being strong where I would have been dead from starvation. And then you'll have the people who are like, yeah, why couldn't I have been a ghoul earlier, right? You're going to have all of that you're going to have to deal with. So it's a trade-off.
Okay. Not talking in character, just talking as person quick. Emery doesn't really want to kill the whole town. She's not comfortable with this, like, middle ground, but it does sound like the best way to get the best solution and not die? So
Yeah.
I guess I'm...
Taking him down as a priority, I think, is going to save more people sooner than worrying about the ghouls right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
then with the core success, that's one of the other things that you probably would have picked up then on too. The purpose of the totems is to send meat to Ibalik. So part of it is like the damage is done. The people who were hurt are already dead, right? So do you want to get vengeance for the dead?
Kinda.
Well, I was
That's
referring
kinda
more
what I
to
meant there.
so that the contaminated food doesn't spread further than Bilchester.
Well, we can affect that once we're done with Einval.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is taking care of Einval is going to, in the long run, help more people sooner before it can spread.
Yeah, and cut off whatever plot he has.
Or could have in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're killing all the evil that he will become.
Alright. Sounds like at least 3 in agreement. And, I mean,
Yeah, Rat's not saying much.
Rat stated preference, but...
Yeah, I felt like I laid it
Rat
out.
wants to kill everybody, and he's calling us murderers.
Well,
No, he's just calling us cowards.
Yes.
from a treatment standpoint, you don't I don't know. You don't treat one element of a disease, then you're like, the rest will sort itself out. You're kind of supposed to clean it all up. But I did, even in character, I said I won't speak for my compatriots, and we'll see what
But
we want to do.
if you think of it this way, we are eliminating the contagious effect of the health concern.
I mean, I'm talking to a very suspiciously conniving lady that's involved in all this.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but the DM also not that long ago confirmed that Einval is the only one currently that can make ghouls.
He's
And that
definitely
is where the
mastermind
ghoul
behind it.
factory is that we know of.
We're treating the disease, and like dead flesh isn't gonna get any deader, but if you stop the infection at the source, it won't make more dead flesh.
True, but isn't making a ghoul just making him eat brains?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyone
Okay,
who
that's
eats
not
brains-
exactly that's not exactly rocket science, and this lady's smarter than your average not rocket scientist.
Yeah, but you have to also have the ability. You can't just eat brains and become a ghoul. You have to have the ability to make the brains that are eaten turn somebody into a ghoul.
It may be misunderstanding the problem. I thought literally if you eat brains, you become a ghoul.
You guys are like actually talking about this now. Like I imagine that maybe the previous night you guys had this argument. Like, wait, how does that actually work? And it just kind of jumps out to like, I guess we would have to try and find out.
I want to eat some
Look
brains.
around and find out.
I'm confused. Do people eating brains not turn into ghouls?
So I'm hesitant to tell you, but I guess I'll tell you in person. I'll tell the player. So the way it works is that, yeah, no, any brains by anyone, they don't require special treatment or anything like that. By eating the brains of sapient, it will actively turn someone into a ghoul. If that's what was kind of happening with Horondadrolf, is that he was killing his own kind, and accidentally getting brain matter in his mouth through repeated times of doing this, and was passively getting ghouled. And he was like,
Gotcha.
Something's wrong, man.
Yeah, okay. So I did have the correct understanding of how this is working. So yeah, this lady, because I feel like we're talking about very different things. All you need to become a ghoul is to eat brains. This lady should know that. And she's clearly very conniving. She has some sort of interaction with these icons of Illig where she can get them to just go north with her and stuff. Like, she could just turn more places into ghoul farms to feed this god. That's what I'm worried about. Where it's like, I think she's setting up Einvol as, Einvol's the problem. You just go deal with Einvol. Yeah. Einvol's totally a bad guy. We kill him. She takes the sacrifices to, like she wanted to. And then
But we know he's the bad guy.
He's
That's why we want to go
bad
kill
guy.
him.
She could be the badder guy.
Yeah,
She
be
could.
an equally bad guy.
I don't
But she's
disagree with that.
squishier than Einval.
Or Austin, whatever, both.
So okay, you are not wrong.
Okay, we
I
can
don't disagree with
attempt
you.
to cut her down now and fight the entire
And
when we
also
get there.
Lamore and Holden Ford, and never be able to go back to a town ever again if we cut her down
Why?
now.
Because you're under the
don't cut her
flag of
down
parlay.
under chivalry. Let her.
Not if they don't find the flag.
Okay, hold on.
That's
So,
pretty fucked up.
Let's restructure the
All right, you
argument.
guys are
here.
just monsters.
Murder?
Like,
Murder.
how would the general populace know that they were under parlay?
Because she already told everybody
And not that they.
what she was doing before she came here. She said that.
I mean,
Yeah,
also
but
the
we have
universe.
some pull in Lamore though.
Not
Yeah,
that much pull.
But jokes aside, we are role playing in a setting where this is common practice. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's a fucked up thing to do. So I feel like making meta decisions based on just saying, what if we ignore it, is kind of ignoring a lot of cultural significance.
I mean,
that
we've
a character-
ignored a lot of stuff up to this point.
So here's
Thanks,
my
Austin.
approach to this. This is an agreement to form a stepping stone to make the clear and obvious goal possible. We take care of Einval, and after that, we can discover how sinister she is as we go along with this plan. But I don't think there's any way that we're going to get through this mission if we don't have some help. Because we can't kill her now under the laws of chivalry. So either she goes back to Einval and says, "Hey, remember those crazy assholes who tried to kill you and want to kill the entire town? Well, they're back and they're on the road." Or she goes back and says, "Hey, everybody, if you don't want to follow Einval, let's get the hell out of here." So whatever the conclusion is, we can't take care of her right now under the laws of chivalry. We need to kill Einval, and our best bet is to cooperate for now.
Yeah, but what if we get there and Ingval has a parlay flag on his house?
You don't have to. So what you can do is you can post a red flag, and that's under the laws of chivalry. It's like, hey, I'm gonna kill you, and that's.
Does anybody got a red
acceptable.
flag or something
You
red?
can make a red flag.
You
I have a
can
pink one.
soak a flag in
Yeah.
blood.
Can we?
Yes.
Yeah, can we make a red flag after we've killed them?
That would be pretty dope.
That's historically where the red flag has come from, but it's basically like I'm not a monster, but I am a killer. Is kind of what the flag means.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's 3 people voting for one thing, and I've already acknowledged both as a player and as a character that it's like, this is what I want to do, but let's see what everyone else has to say. So if we have 3 people saying let's go with her deal, then let's go with her deal.
All right.
Okay,
You guys break huddle, and who walks over to?
I will.
Oh God.
Hey now, I'm not trying to lie this time. This is a de facto leader of the group.
Are you sure you're not lying? Because we just agreed that she's also a threat.
She's a threat, but I'm not going to talk about it.
The only person that was dissenting from this course of action was me. So as long as I'm not the one talking to her, you should be fine.
See, I'm just going to approach her. We agree to your terms under the understanding that you will not recreate this problem elsewhere, that you're going to keep your word, take the ghouls and the totems, whoever else wants to leave and go north, out of Bilchester. We will go there and we will kill Einval. We will not attack anybody who is not who's not between us and Einval and putting our lives at risk.
The agreement is thus. By morning, I will take what zealots agree, and I will bring them north. Wait, hands up.
As she's speaking, I'm sorry, can I just watch her to see if if it seems like she's being deceptive?
Yeah, you can see if you catch her in a lie. One thing is laws of chivalry. Like a handshake at the end of the agreement would be super fucking trashy. It'd be breaking the laws of chivalry to just lie, not do it. But you can keep it.
Yeah, I know, but
So give me a investigation check. And so she says, the deal is thus. I will return to town. I'll gather up any ghouls and totems that I can, and I'll take them north to Italy, where they'll meet their fate. From here to there, they'll feast upon the dead, and they will not raise a hand against the living unless provoked. In exchange, you will not be met by any what's the word I'm looking for? Any threats of violence.
Innocence?
Or you will not be met by any opposition except for inside the manor. Anyone who dies inside the matter is settled as anyone who leaves the manor. After that, there will be peace in Bilchester between any parties that still live.
Okay.
So we're good to show up late tomorrow morning.
One second. What about as you're heading on your way north, There won't be any more ghouls in the making, right?
And then go ahead and roll
I got a 2 and 4.
2 and 4. She goes. It is the final clause. Then we will agree not to feed any of the living as well.
I'm gonna throw in for how long? Just a trip north?
I will go north, and with all of the zealots that I may, where they will meet their end, and none of them will raise a hand in either help or offense towards any living being, unless otherwise provoked. I will, and they will sire no ghouls from here to there.
Well, that's what we want.
Okay.
So,
So I return to my question. So late tomorrow morning, we're good to enter town.
Absolutely.
Does she seem legit?
She takes off her So yeah, you caught the with your 4 advantage. You caught the extra clause, and yeah, she takes her glove off and presents her hand to Ilya for shaking.
shake her hand.
Okay. She's got a cold, lifeless hand with a eerie strength to it. And with the comfort of the laws of chivalry binding the agreement, it seems as if, while Emery, it doesn't seem as if there are any cracks in the, any sort of deception, but she does seem pleased with the results.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Well, be careful, you 4. The night is long. May the beasts be at bay." She smiles, and the cart, and Sigolene ushers the horses to turn the cart around, and she leaves.
All right, guys.
All right,
So-
if this was a Sims game, Wretch would get like -4 red slashes over his head.
So-
We're taking a short rest, right?
But you guys are going to take a long rest.
Well, we're gonna take a rest about an hour away from town, whenever that is, and for however much time
Yeah.
we have.
You got about 2
Yeah.
hours of travel left, and it is now dark.
Seems appropriate.
All right.
To rest.
Well,
And since it's dark, Nash will take the lead. in
before
our
we depart,
guiding.
as the carriage gets out of earshot, the last thing I'll say before the long rest, so I'm going to be fuming in silence for the rest of the walk, but it's just like, I noticed the part of the deal she didn't mention was what she would do after sacrificing them. And
Well, I mean,
whether or
they'll
not
be
she would,
sacrificed.
well, she'll be
which
siring
means-
more after that.
Well, we have the option to go after her, after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't violate the agreement.
Unfortunately.
It's another town dead. And then I'll start walking in the direction we're supposed to go.
We're only 4 people. And a cow.
Yeah, but if we don't take care of the grain issue in Bilchester, all of Lemoore could be ghouls.
No
Yeah.
one's as a player, I just feel like you're misunderstanding me. I'm not
No.
saying we let Einval go. I'm saying we deal with
that-
all of them.
That was Nash. Nash is like, we gotta get rid of the food.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah.
that. No one's saying we should.
Nash is
If we'll
suggesting
live
that
by-
he eats it all himself.
Yeah, he's hungry. He needs the carbs for energy.
What are the benefits of being a ghoul?
There's a lot of different benefits. Increased strength and resilience.
I don't
Being
think
able-
increased strength works on me.
Can I have a Brana 6?
Yeah. Night vision, extra speed, being able to eat the dead, maybe some other things.
Yep. You don't have to give away all your secrets.
As you guys walk along the road, for a couple of hours, you eventually find a spot to bed down for the night. And as you guys take shifts to rest, who's going first, second, third, and fourth?
I will go in the middle, so second or third.
Yeah, I'll do first watch.
I'll
I'll
go
do the
last.
last watch.
Oh,
Yeah, you're fuming. It's gonna take you
Yeah.
a while to cool down.
Don't go to bed angry.
An hour from town is enough to see the dim haze in the dead of night of the lanterns that light the streets. But it's far off still. And as you take your watch,
I'm gonna say
Give
no
me-
campfire tonight.
No, we don't need a campfire.
Yeah.
give me a vigilance roll.
Okay. Is that for everybody?
No, just Bretch. First watch.
Okay. I like vigilant. 4 and 3.
You are able to see the glowing yellow eyes watching you from the direction of town. Maybe 5 sets of them.
They can see us from an hour away.
No, from the direction of town.
Is everyone asleep at this point?
Yeah.
He said yes.
Then I'll just stare at the eyes, and I won't blink till they blink. And I'm gonna keep like, I don't know, whittling a stick or whatever I was doing.
Yeah. They don't do anything out of. They don't seem to go away. They don't seem to approach or anything. And sure enough, your watch ends with nothing but this eerie presence in the distance. Who was second
Well-
watch?
I'll take second watch.
Wretch, did you want to
I'll
say
just
something?
point out the eyes to them, and I'll be like, "Have fun."
So I'm guessing these appear non-corporeal. Can I get a read on like the distance away?
Yeah. You can actually, with your dark vision, you can make out shapes. Your dark vision's about 60 feet. They stay about 100 feet out, but you can tell from the previous experience that you've had that these are definitely ghouls.
All right. So I will be literally like standing guard. So I'll be standing with my axe planted on the ground in front of me and my arms resting on them, facing towards town.
Very well. And that is how you spend your evening. Sorry, you spend your shift. And so the shifts go. Them never yielding, but also maintaining a safe distance away. Does anyone want to do anything on their watch? Otherwise, morning will come.
No, I think we're just waiting for the final confrontation.
I was hoping to make my summon.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that on
And
your
you might want last watch.
Yes.
During the last watch, you notice the eyes eventually disappear as the dawn threatens to approach. You guys do have tents some modest sleeping gear, etc. If you would like, you can make. You have just enough space to make your bear underneath one of the tents, but it's going to be like either the bear gets to sleep under the tent or you get to sleep under the tent, sort of thing.
Hold on before we get too far. Emery, do you eat a ration?
Yes.
All right. Remember, I'm keeping track of that.
I need to because
Wretch.
I have my Querbus. I eat a
Okay, so
lot
you
of
consume
food.
2.
Yeah, sorry.
Just so you are aware, that leaves you with 4. Wretch, are you eating?
Yeah.
All right, that leaves you with a minor 30.
We come prepared.
You wake up to a cold, drizzly morning without the fire. Do you want to go ahead and roll your ritual cast of Bah? What's the difficulty?
Easy.
Easy? Okay, I'll upgrade it once for one of you being out in the rain, with the other one being dry.
4 and 2.
1 and 1.
Okay, so I can't make malice.
Unless you spend a story point, which you guys should have all of your story points and your horseshoes at this point.
Okay.
Theoretically, you're going to be inside a house if that changes anything that you're going to do.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Will he fit out a door?
No, I'll make my porcupine.
Okay. The morning has come. As you guys gather yourselves and head towards the village, you start to see the buildings come into resolution from behind the hills, and the rain at this point has taken on a patchwork pattern, and from here you can see some clouds of rain drift across the fields, and as they do, you see areas where there appears to be crops in the field sort of shift and glimmer, and where there was once a crop of wheat, there is now churned mud and broken and decaying things in the field. You walk closer, and you see those rain clouds pass over buildings and even distant farmers, and you see them and their plucky visages change, and you see much more sallow individuals as the rain disrupts the glamour that has been set upon this town during the day. The few folks that you do see stand well far enough away and have their undivided attention directed towards you, cautiously watching. Closer and closer.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Nash is just gonna keep walking towards the manor.
So, since we don't mean anyone harm but Einval, whenever it is the most appropriate, like, I want to follow the laws of chivalry, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So if at some point we need to don a
she
cloak
said
of some sort, like...
Yeah.
Oh.
That's all. Like, just, you know, I would want to abide by whatever would be the best thing to do here, from that point of view, but...
Yeah.
I believe that would be red.
But I don't want to, like, I don't want to be showing red to the whole town, right? So that's where I'm...
Yeah, no, in this case, you know, wearing red would be fine. Wearing parlay would probably not at this point, since you're kind of on a mission of death. But you also don't need to.
And I mean, everybody in town, I think, has a feeling of what we're doing there.
Yeah.
That's why they're staying so far away.
As you do get into town, you see that there are many doors left ajar, and it appears that there has been heavy foot traffic through town. And in fact, many of the paths lead onto the major thoroughfares, heading north and up past the ruined windmill. As you guys get close,
before we get to the manor, I'm going to turn to the party and say, let me go through the door first.
All right, big boy.
You should break the windows.
I just want to go through the door first. You can do whatever you want.
as you guys get closer and closer, there stands Sigolene in the road. And he goes, he looks at you guys, and he with one hand on his hip, he kind of gives a curt, shallow bow. Goes, if it pleases you, the Lord awaits you in his chapel. I will lead the way.
His chapel, huh?
Not his manor?
Indeed, his sanctuary in his cellar.
In his cellar, where there's no sunlight.
How many people does he have with him?
I will take you to the cellar doors. And from there, the rest is yours. I do not intend to stay in town. I will find my liege. I will satisfy my liege's last request to attend Jacqueline on her voyage.
So follow him. So the cellar door is attached.
So
to
he
the
didn't
wall.
answer my question. He ignored it.
Correct.
All right.
Does seem he ignored your question.
That's
Yeah, he ignored the question.
When?
So yeah, let's get to that cellar, huh?
How did the contract go about when we could start attacking?
When we're in the manor.
Yeah. Basically, what happens in the manor stays in the manor, and when whoever's left leaves the manor, it's peace from that on.
Are we in the manor right now?
No.
No.
He's in the middle of town, basically saying, I'm going to guide you to the cellar, and then that's it.
Got it. I was just trying to figure out if we were on the manor grounds.
Inside the manor, she specified. And by manor, I read it as in the building. And I was under the understanding that if anybody else is in there besides him, they have agreed to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
all
All right,
right.
so
So you're
we'll
just
walk
concerned
to
about-
this cellar.
He walks you guys toward the manor, and off to the side where the cellar doors are. Walks over, opens them up. There's probably 15 people that you've seen in town.
Okay.
And
Right,
they're all down
No, we've just seen 15 people.
there? Okay.
So Nash is going to go down the stairs first with his weapon drawn.
Why don't we
So
just
yeah,
burn
I
this
guess
place?
just let me know what happens when I get to the bottom of the steps.
Wretch, what was that?
Who?
Wretch.
Why don't we just burn this place to the ground and wait, and then we can fight in the sunlight?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. He's
How are
gonna
we
fight
gonna
us
burn it if
instead.
it's raining?
I have a fire sword.
It's not raining inside.
He
Go inside,
might
start the
have
fire.
captives.
Anybody in the manor agreed to die.
Yep. You're in the manor. You're gonna die.
Unless they're a captive. They didn't agree to be in there.
Do or die. And I don't think Einval is taking captives. I think that this is the final showdown, and he knows it.
Yeah,
He's not going to pull any tricks. And if he does, then they're dead.
Okay, burn the house down then.
I don't want to walk into a spooky basement of unknown number of assailants.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's why you're our big boy is walking up first. He's.
If you want, it's just a suggestion. It's not a demand, but
But if we also
I-
burn down the house, there's nothing to loot.
There's the rest of the.
I like that. That's funny.
There's nothing.
Josh is commenting how we never loot things.
The
We
rest
can
of
sort through rubble later. We're just trying to drive.
This is going to
him
be the
out of
best house in town to loot.
the rest of the houses are owned by people who are still in town, who have been promised peace.
That's
Yeah.
true. We can only burn down the manor, you guys.
All 15 of them.
All 15 manors?
Oh, yeah. This is our town now.
Yeah. No.
Like, I think we're gonna play How to Be a Despot next.
Damn.
All right. So, at this point, you guys are having this kind of back and forth in front of Sigolene. What do you do?
Well, I tell him to hit the fucking bricks.
Please don't.
Why are you still here? Go.
My lord has bade me to ensure you have entered the facilities.
That's the most suspicious thing I've heard all day. I am this close to shoving you in that manner so I can hit you. Leave. I am coercing him.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll coercion.
Sick of this asshole. That's a 6 and 2.
He
He
goes.
hasn't been an asshole yet.
He goes.
He's like, I'm waiting for you to go into the pit of death that I can leave with my raging erection. Yeah, whatever. Get out of here, cuck.
Yeah. His ears go down, and he looks at you and he goes, "Very well," and he turns and he sulks off.
Can I say one thing as he's leaving?
Can't believe
Yeah,
you're that
you
mean
can.
to your own kind.
Please.
Fuck that guy.
He's a ghoul.
Is he?
He's a rat.
He looks like a ghoul to me. That's enough.
He's just not nearly as pretty as Ratchet.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you can't even see Wretch.
It's like hanging out with Brad Pitt all day and then seeing a crackhead in front of the 7-Eleven.
Or just me. Sarah, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, Emery was just gonna say, please don't make us regret taking this duel, or this deal, Sigourney.
He turns around and looks at you. If only our lives were deprived of regrets. And he turns around and continues.
Man, poor Sigourney Weaver.
All right.
So go lean, more like, so go fuck yourself.
An eerie basement yawns in front of you as the rain pelts you. What do you guys do?
So Nash turns to the party, and he's like holding his axe, and he's like shaking with excitement. He's like, "Am I going in?"
I mean, if we go down into his basement, then we can't use sunlight against him, and he was really hard to fight in the dark.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's true, you weren't. But if you get close to him, he's going to sap your strength and your stamina.
I'm
That'll
gonna
only last while he's alive.
I'm gonna look
And
up.
no,
At
it'll last until sunlight.
I'm gonna look up at the sky and just kind of do some quick math, and then look at Emery. House this size would take a long time to burn.
And if he has a secret escape tunnel, what's keeping him from using it?
Yeah, and I don't know how long Emery can hold together those constructs while we stand here and watch it.
It would be-
Unfortunately, looking at Ilya, I don't think we have the time for pertinence.
All right, let's get
light
down
a
there
few
and get
little
it.
things on fire in there if that would make you feel better. Maybe open up.
Well, I've got a fire sword. I'm going to set a lot of things on fire.
Yeah.
You can set the basement on fire
Did,
after we've fought him.
did you want your sword set to fire?
It has been.
I
Okay.
think that's been insinuated heavily.
I figured you had a long rest. You had options if you wanted to switch things out. That's all. All right.
All right. So since this is a decision, Bull like basically runs down the steps.
Okay.
Wait
Nash
a
runs down the
second.
steps.
You can bring the ball too.
As Nash runs down the steps, you hear dun 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 as the steps break.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
As that happens, where is everyone else in this? Are you guys running down with him, or are you like?
I'm at the top
I'm
of
going to
the
step
stairs.
and wait.
Yeah, I'm at the top of the stairs, and I'm just kind of like putting a fake hand to my mouth, saying, "Oh no, a trap."
All right.
Or just Nash is very large and the steps are shitty.
Yeah, my
Dude,
porcupine
you've been
would
on
have
the
been-
ghoul's side like this whole campaign. Just accept they're bad people.
Or accept that Nash is a ghoul.
Oh no!
Listen, maybe the ghouls didn't lay a trap for me. Maybe the stairs are bad. I know, dude, but like we've established they're bad.
All right.
My porcupine would have been behind. Bull.
Anyway, I'm still at the top. I'm at the top of the
Nash.
stairs, so I guess I'm at the rear.
Okay. As Nash heads down the stairs and in his pace, the bottom of the stairs gives out, and he falls into a puddle as you guys hear a splash at the base of the steps. Steps aren't very long. In fact, there's maybe only 8 steps leading down before this puddle. Nash, as you collapse the bottom area and land into this, give me a resilience check.
Do we have a map for this?
Yes, we do.
Sorry.
I'm just
2 and 1. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I didn't roll that right. I need way more dice.
Yeah, you have a brawn of 5.
I was rolling as if I, for some reason, only had 2.
Oh, did you think it was a willpower check?
I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
6 and 2.
That's better.
Alright. 1 second. I'm just checking something. Okay. How did I not put you guys on this list? Control copy. And it's... Oh, that's why. Because I was doing something over here. Okay. Let's see here.
There we go.
Ooh, a map.
A map. There's a map. There's a
This is
map.
not the layout
There's
that
a
you
map.
guys would be in, but hold on. So, let me monologue for a second.
Yes, sir.
And yes, I don't have your little porcupine out yet.
That's fine. That's fine. I just-
Also, where's the cow? What did you guys do with the cow?
Cow's waiting up top. Right.
I would have left the cow tied up somewhere at like a horse tie out or something.
Okay. And like at the tavern, the inn.
Remember when he said bull goes first?
Bull goes first.
He threw the cow down the stairs to break the walls.
I'm sorry.
Hilarious. Okay, Porcupine giving a turn to Porcupine. Controlled by all players. Save. Okay.
Are we supposed to see anything yet?
Yeah, but maybe you don't have.
Small Ian.
Represents character. Oh, that's weird. Okay, there we go. Save.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay. So, as you head down the stairs collapse, and you fall into a pool of caustic substance. You quickly
Is it always acid?
you quickly pull yourself up as it drips off of you, and do a dog shake, and you get it mostly out of your fur in that moment. But you see ahead of you quite the space to trudge through. Off across the basement grounds, you see a shelving unit that has been slid aside. And on the other side is a room with the dim flickering light of candles. And you see the partial silhouette of a figure just beyond. And you hear, "Lo is the time at hand, and so you have come to meet me and contest the wills of your gods in the outer wills of the better minds."
Oh, just shut up.
Enough talk. We're here for action.
You have always been deprived of manners and quick to action. And
I was the last one to act.
with that, a hulking form walks slowly towards you guys. And just outside, just on the other side of the, where the shelf was pulled away and where the flickering candles, you see a disjointed and grotesque form of Einval. His ruptured and destroyed arm and leg apparently renewed or replaced. And at this point, I would like everyone to give me a vigilance roll.
Seven and 3.
I guess it's
2 and 2.
1.
1 and 2.
Oh wait, does my bear? No, it goes on my turn. So.
It won't have a roll
Yep,
for this.
Sorry.
As you guys are captivated by the figure looming on the other side of this trough of caustic liquid, Wretch, your eyes are drawn to a pulley with a rope. There appears to be something attached to the door. Originally, you thought, "Oh yeah, it's the shelving unit rolls back and forth, and that's part of that." But then you notice the beams supporting the floor above you have been eroded by the caustic substances, and in particular spots, almost by design. He looks at you. "Let's dance." And you hear the doors behind, on the top of the cellar, shut and bolt into place. Roll for initiative.
What do I roll?
Gang, gang, it's a
What are we
trap.
rolling?
So anyone with you can roll cool or vigilance. And if you have a special ability, you can roll for that. Knowledge, the nature one probably doesn't work right now.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a natural setting.
Yep. I smart like that.
2 and 1.
Yep, that checks out.
Can I roll something else just because I'm angry?
Two more. 1 second. Sorry. Turn. Oh, that's why. Oh, so stupid. I gotta move those. Should've-
4 and 6, and I roll 8 boost die for I told you so.
What was your roll? 4 and 6?
4 and 6.
All right, Emery.
0 and 1.
Nice. Your little guy does activates in your turn, so get rid of him. Nash.
3 and 1.
Okay. And then Ghoul King Einval. Oh.
I can't see him on the map. I don't know if that's by design or not.
Yeah, 1 second. I gotta get some. It's a lot of moving parts right now. Einval.
Because of the pulleys.
Ah, cool. Oh. Oh, sorry. And then he. So he should actually be. Ah, no! Why is it moving the whole screen? He stands here. Okay, so the green crap is the caustic acid. So what you guys can see, obviously, so all of the walls exist. You see the stairs that lead back up into the house.
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel like it's pretty intuitive there. So Einval sneers at you guys, and he passes on his turn, and it is next over to Wretch.
I can bust those doors open. I don't know if I can talk out of turn.
So
The door's wide open in front of him. So
No, the
door...
basement doors.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. Yeah, to get out of here.
Alright,
Yeah.
gang. The ceiling's weak in multiple places because of all this acid. He's clearly taunting us because he could have had the door closed, and he wants us to go down into that acid, and the roof's going to fall on our heads, and the door closed behind us. Pretty obvious he wants us down here. I vote we leave and go with the burning the building down plan.
Okay.
Remember, all who leave at this point, remember, what happens in the house stays in the house.
Yeah, so if we leave, we're not allowed to fight anymore.
Can't go back into the house, set it on fire, and leave?
You can
I mean, we
leave.
can.
But he could leave too then, underneath the same principle.
So you said
Because
it's weakening?
Because things would be considered as done if we leave.
Yeah, so the stairway into the cellar, that is under the weakened ceiling?
Yeah. The spot that Emery's in isn't, because it would be the last, like, kind of the exterior kind of space. The rest of it is underneath the ceiling. Yeah, it's within the main walls.
I mean, my summon will probably be able to get over to him. I imagine this stuff is.
Can you manually detonate your summon to blow the ceiling and drop the house on him?
She won't be able to go till the
No.
end.
Gosh, golly.
Alright, well, for my turn, I'm going to check the stability of the door.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a mechanics check.
0-2.
I just realized Ilya's not on the turn order.
Oh. Oops. Thank you. Ilya. What'd you roll?
Would you roll, Ilya?
2 and 1.
Thanks for catching that. Yeah, no, it's really dark in here. It's you notice with the smell, the burning wood, etc. But it's hard to necessarily tell outside of above you where that kind of problem is. The door seemed pretty sturdy when you walked past it and through it.
So I think this is why that guy wanted to watch us go here.
You're right again, little rat.
Yeah, we gotta kind of track that guy down, huh?
Now we want to track him down.
Hold on. Hold on. After we had proof that he was starting trouble, which we now have, so throwing it out there.
I've been operating entirely on vibes, but so far I'm hitting 10 for 10. All right.
I just
And
keep
you-
having hope that Josh has somebody that isn't completely evil.
All right.
They're not completely evil. They are following the law in which they set up. That guy didn't come inside.
All right. Crap, this caustic stuff. Now, is it actually a gas like we're seeing, or is it liquid?
It's there is a liquid on the ground, so it is, judging by Nash's stance with who's in it. It's probably about knee deep.
I have a question.
Okay.
Mhm.
What?
Am I supposed to be seeing a figure in the fog? Because I see a figure here.
There is no figure there. That is texture. One second. I gotta move a bunch of crap to see what the hell you're talking about. But there is no figure there.
All right.
Oh no, there is a knoll there.
Yeah, there's a knoll that you just moved.
Oh. Yeah, no, he's not supposed to be there.
Okay. I was like, wait a second, are you hiding a bad guy under all that fog?
Pops out with a snorkel.
It was very important to me.
Yeah, no, sorry.
It's okay.
All right. Josh, can I grab a pulley and Indiana Jones across this to the other staircase?
You may certainly try. Give me a coordination check as well as a mechanics check.
You want to pull on a pulley that's hanging from the ceiling that's about to collapse.
Hell yeah.
Mechanics
Before
check
you're all
and a
under.
coordination check. Coordination first.
He's a light little boy. He's gonna be fine.
2 and 1.
He's a very heavy boy.
He's very happy.
Okay, now give me the mechanics check.
1 and 1.
This should be these. Okay. So you leap up onto those onto the pulley system, and as you pull on it, the the system seems actually weirdly like there's a bit of a give to your weight on the system itself, but as that happens, you manage to use the use it to like up one side, and as that happens, part of the ceiling collapses, and but luckily you are underneath an overhanging portion that does not collapse, and the space that the rope continued to does fall apart slightly, and this on the right layer token. Oh, that's going on. I'm the wrong layer. As part of the ceiling gives away, a pile of corpses falls and lands from the floor above and into the acid below. You dodging it because you swung off on that rope. So now you're suspended from a rope that's hanging from the ceiling from an intact portion of the ceiling, neither touching acid nor the corpses that fell into it.
Is the top of the pile of the corpses above the acid?
The top of the pile of corpses is above the acid.
Well, can I now, like, where the top of my rope? How close is it to the now hole in the ceiling?
You have to swing it a little bit. It's maybe undercut like 4-5 feet.
All right, too far. Don't care. So I'm gonna drop onto the pile of corpses and then try and jump to the stairs.
All right, give me a coordination check.
Okay. Horseshoe. 2 and 0.
Nice. Okay, so you do take 2 strain as you do these antics, but your original movement speed is 2, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can land it anywhere on the stairs, pretty much there, which is above the acid. You can see now on this staircase, just like the one across the way, the bottom of the staircase has been eaten away. So it's supported from the top, but the further down you go, you know, with bowl going dun, 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 it just collapsed because the base was no longer supported.
Gotcha. All right. I'm assuming that was 2 maneuvers. Jump on a thing, jump off a thing, jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and I gave you double
Then
maneuver speed because of your successes in your thing. You just got to carry over it.
I don't like standing this close to a scary guy and the acid. I think he's just going to pull me down into it. So I'm going to take 2 more strain to move up the stairs.
Okay.
That'd be me.
All right, Nash, over to you.
I'm going to jump from where I am to as far towards the door he's standing in as possible in one move.
Okay, so the way that this works, you can jump maximum your movement speed, I believe. So let's take a look at the cheat sheet here. Actions.
Then how do we jump over things that are further apart than our movement speed?
So
I thought it was just the further it was, the harder it was.
the harder it is, yeah, but there's a max on total distance, and you can add so if you're gonna go 5 feet vertically down, you can add that to the movement for horizontal. Let me just take a look at it. Actions. You do get around hindering terrain that way. Let's see. Sorry, falls and jumps. Maneuver to jump, test athletics, difficulty 1 for about every 5 feet, vertical intended. Max horizontal distance is your speed. So you can just add your speed to it, so to speak, right?
What if I just jump up through the ceiling? Because I could go way more vertical than I can horizontal.
Yeah, there's a small space there. Vertical definitely is something that you're better at than jumping that whole distance. But you can declare a double move for this jump if you want to go horizontal.
Yeah. So I'll spend 2 strain and jump 2 squares, and then 2 squares.
Yeah, we'll call it 1 jump though. Like you can just dedicate two full maneuvers to it. That way, it's harder, but you also don't have to land in the acid halfway through and then jump again. So at the start of your turn, I need you to give me another resilience check.
I'm horseshoeing that one.
Ooh, man. We're pulling out the horseshoes.
9 success. I went from 1 success to 9 success.
So you shake off the acid, no problem. Now time for the jump.
And that's athletics?
Yes.
Oh, same roll. Uh, 4 and 2.
Okay. Yeah, taking 2 strain, you do manage to clear 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there.
And then
Actually, I will say, for the uncanceled strain, I'll say that you actually move 1 extra closer.
I slided.
Yeah.
And then angry ultimate activates, and I attack him.
All right.
What's my attack roll?
So as you rush into the space, one thing that strikes you, although he is still rather impressive in demeanor, he seems to still be he just still doesn't seem to have any of those crazy shadows being cast underneath of them by the candles.
All right, so a triumph, 3 success, 3 advantage.
1 and 2.
All right, so first I want to remember what I can do with the triumph. Advantage and disadvantage, triumph. I'm going to cause him a critical injury.
Okay.
Do you want to roll that now or after I attack?
We'll roll that when we're done with the attack here.
Okay. So that leaves me with 6, 11, pierce 2. 11 pierce 2. I'm trying to find it on my sheet here. There it is. Yeah, 11 pierce 2.
All right.
I'm causing a crit with my advantage. Is my vicious 1 going to play into that?
Yes.
All right. And then my 3 advantage. Or wait, how much disadvantage did you roll? I'm sorry.
I rolled 2.
Okay, so I've got 1 advantage. He is also going to suffer a strain.
Oh, okay.
So 11 pierce 2, taking a crit of plus 10, and suffer 1 strain.
All right. Do you want me to roll the crit, or do you want to?
You can roll the crit.
Right. That is.
Yeah, I have to go give my
53.
cat.
Okay.
I have to go give my cat morphine. Is now a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a while.
That's 53
right back.
plus 10, so 63. And you are not going to be a while because that was your third maneuver, third action in that.
I activated my alt.
It doesn't give you more actions this time.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a
I'm
63.
sorry, it's been a while.
Right. 63 is let's see here. Crit table. 6 off of his strain. So I'll put that in there. Okay. So you smash into him, and as you do, he actually you cleave off one of his forearms at the right up just before the elbow. He looks at you. Ilya.
This motherfucker. So 1, 2. So the wall run, I'd be able to run. Would I have to do something like chow? Chow?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You have to run along actual walls. Yep.
That is wall run.
Well, yeah.
Unless you want to try and run upside down across the ceiling.
But I'd allow you to do diagonals.
Oh. Yeah.
So you could go
Just a moment.
1, 2, 3, 4 for a maneuver.
Yeah, I think I would do that, and run along the wall. What? Oh, sorry, I'm gonna look confused. So would I be doing the wall running so long as I'm in contact with the wall? And then
I
for
think what
those,
I think what he's saying is you jump from where you are to a point on the wall, jump off of there to the other wall.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. You're basically it's parkour. So as long as you touch a wall with each step, then it's fine.
yeah, I'm gonna double maneuver.
Okay. So that's one
One,
maneuver to get there.
2, 3. I'm gonna pop a squat right there.
Back.
And just gonna wait, burning with rage.
All right. So at this point, Gulking Einball is going to use his ready action to smash Nash, and then he's going to use his legendary action as well here in just a second. So, so his first action is to hit Nash. Go ahead and roll your melee defense. Let's see here. Oh, yep. Sorry.
2 failure.
So many different stats in here for being also a social character. What was all? 2 and 3, you said?
No, just 2.
Just 2? Okay, so he hits you for 10 pierce 1 damage. He smashes into you with his fists. One hitting you in the stomach, and another one coming across, clocking you in the jowls. And then his second action, he reaches down with one of his spare hands, and you see that there are bits and pieces of corpses in the room, and he grabs one and stuffs it back onto where the stump was, and you see it starts to knit as he quickly sutures it into place with his spare hand while the other 2 hands are punching you.
He did 2 damage.
That's it. Great coordination.
Get
That
fucked.
is hilarious.
Right. So that's his held action and his legendary action, and then it is over to Emery.
Okay. Alright. So, I'm gonna hope that this is stuff that my porcupine is immune to. So he's just gonna run across.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna just jump on.
All right. Hindering terrain to be inside of it.
Oh, it is?
It is, but everyone else used skill-based actions to run along the outside and tests to jump around it.
Yeah, I also have ignore hindering terrain, but I was more jumping to like avoid any more traps. Was why I was jumping.
Okay, well, chonk chonk. Chonk chonk.
Okay, give me a resilience check.
Chonk chonk.
Chonk, chonk.
You also jumped just to show you could.
Now you guys can see what it's like, though, if you fall in. Resilience, he has
Well,
one
I can jump up a 20-foot cliff in one move, but I can't jump 20 feet sideways.
I mean, you did just jump 20 feet sideways.
I know, but it took 2 maneuvers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to switch back and forth a little bit to get there. 2 and 2.
Yeah, so he suffers burn 4 as he moves his way through the space.
Oh. Turns
I thought
out
he was immune.
it hurts him
Just
too.
hoping.
Oh.
It's almost like stomach acid eats foliage.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the things I wasn't really sure what else to do with him, so. Yeah, but if, I didn't realize it'd be hindering terrain, so that sucks. I don't suppose if it was back one, then it could try to jump to there?
Certainly can.
Because then it would be out of the poison, right? If it was, Okay, how do?
Action to jump. Athletics check.
Okay, thank you. Just triumph and a success.
A triumph and a success. If you Okay, so you rolled basically just the triumph symbol.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you spent that on an extra success, he would not succeed.
Oh, you guys are duck. You guys duck, so he doesn't get to go
Yeah,
anywhere.
So yeah, he attempts to jump, and I will say that he can, for 4 damage, he can move 1 more square.
For 4 damage.
Yeah, he jump. Basically, fails and submerges himself in the acid.
Oh, I guess he just stays where he is.
I mean, he's a tiny guy. Poor dude.
Thought he was
He's
a
a
big old
big
bear.
porcupine. He's a large porcupine.
Yeah, but I meant
He's
like
a
he's not
large-
6 feet tall, so proportionately speaking, more of his body is under the.
Yeah, if
acid.
the acid is up to Nash's knee,
Yeah. Poor quadrupedal creature's got like his nipples in there and all that, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Really good exfoliant.
Emery.
I was hoping to take a look at the structural damage.
that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Why? Okay. I'm assuming that's a mechanics check.
Yes, it is.
4 and 3.
Wow. Yeah. So you can totally tell this thing is rigged for the whole ceiling to go when he pulls on the. He pulls the door shut. And so it looks right now that
Okay.
the 3 of you, actually the 4 of you, are relatively in safe spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get the illusion that he's been waiting for someone to be in the room, like near somewhere away from the stairs,
Yeah.
to pull it shut.
Okay. Guys, if he shuts that door, the ceiling's coming down! And other than that...
Can you? Never
Can I
mind.
what?
I don't want to metagame too much.
Wait, so if he shuts the door to what door?
The chapel
The-
door,
the
the
bookcase.
thing
Yeah.
that's right next to him.
That you are also standing right next to.
Gosh golly gee.
Okay. Trying to think. Sorry, I'm just
Have we
checking
also
things.
thought of what's going to happen if he has a big old soup of corpse meat with the caustic fluid like he used to make the hulking giant corpse monsters?
I have another intellectual question to do with my turn.
Yeah.
How flammable does that stuff look at the bottom?
Give me an alchemy check. And all of this can be 1 number.
Both are? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're assessing the surroundings quickly.
I am, thank you, good sir. Wow, that is a lot of success. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like if I move there?
So you're in a recessed wall right now, and so that's safe.
Uh-huh.
Looking up and around, you can tell like where Wretch is between 2 like foundational walls, right? So that seems pretty safe as well. Looking with your high roll, it looks like the back wall over here is in a much better condition, as if they kept those supports on that back side in place. But no, this space over here by your porcupine does not look safe.
Okay. Fair enough. Dang. And my innervate spell is short range, so can't give it to anybody. I do nothing else because I can't do anything else. Yeah.
Okay. So end of your turn, start of Ghoul King Einball's turn. As you shout out to the rest of the group, he looks around the door and goes, "Ah, I'll just have to take this one." He slams the the shelf into place.
It's not his turn.
What?
Wait, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, he had a held action. That's what he did to me. Never mind.
Yeah. So he slams that into place, and as he does, let's see here. The ceiling collapses with piles and piles of corpses falling and splashing into the acid. You have a feeling that if you were in the middle of the room at the time, these probably would have done a lot of crushing and then submerged you into the acid. Not the entire ceiling gives away, though. As you can see up above you, there is a group of ghouls standing in what used to be the cold storage room next to the kitchen, who are now peering out over the mess that is there. In fact, there are still remnants of the dining room over here that you can see, Nash. And this flesh totem is no longer here because they went north. So he slams that shut, and Nash, you hear and you hear a bunch of clicking and popping as it does. And I need to roll for these two groups of ghouls. Let's see here.
I gotta go grab a beverage quick.
Okay. So those slam into place. He looks over at his trapped quarry, and he is going to beat on our dearest Nash. You're getting attacked again.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
2 and 1.
Two and 1. Okay, so he hits you for 8 damage, but he also grapples you, and his claws dig into you. I'm going to... So you suffer 4 poison hard, which you will resolve at the start of your turn, not now. And you are considered grappled by him.
Okay, so I took no damage. Is grapple a versus check? When he grapples me?
So when he attacked you with his bare hands, you couldn't... it's basically just a proc off of his attack, but you can attempt to break free with an opposed athletics check on your turn.
All right. So what I am going to do first...
It is Rex's turn.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
I am thinking then.
All right. So I'm gonna finish going up these stairs and see what the situation is up there.
Yeah, so, 1 second. Let me just take this other map here quick. So, making it up the stairs, basically you can see that the top of, they're going to take a harsh 90, and you can see up on the top, there's a little bit of space left, but you can see piles of corpses on, kind of littered into the space there. Do you want to continue your way up and through all of that, or no?
Yeah, you said it takes a 90. Does it go left or right from my perspective? Towards the ghouls or...
Sorry, it takes a 180. So it circles back.
Okay, yeah, then I'll keep going up.
Okay. So as you get up to the top of the steps, what you basically find is that there's essentially up kind of here-ish. The ceiling has collapsed in on both of these rooms. In fact, most of it has been eaten away on the room where Nash and Einval already are. So this whole area is kind of lost its integrity, but you can basically run around and make it up to this area here, but not with the movement speed that you have. It'll take like 8 movements to get, because you're right here. Or no, you were right here, right?
I was at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was right there at the
winding
start.
back to basically the stairs end over here. It's not very well distributed because these are the stairs that lead up to the from where there's the basement, the first floor, and the second floor. These stairs that I'm showing on the screen are the second floor stairs that are damaged and kind of wobbling around. The kitchen, which was over here, fell in, and the dining room, which was over here, kind of fell in. And you can see all this kind of trash around here. So, you can kind of stand on some of the precarious stuff if you want to do a coordination check to kind of shimmy. Otherwise, that's kind of where that space is. If you wanted to eventually make your way over to where these ghouls are, you can get access to where the old living quarters were, or you can try to make your way up these stairs here. By going up them, you would get to the second floor, which is you can see the bottom of the second floor is attacked from here.
Okay. I'm trying to look for a way to get down to the chapel from above, assuming its ceiling is equally as screwed as the rest of the basement.
Yeah, you can drop in from here if you'd like.
All right. Then I'm out of movement for this turn, so I'll observe
Okay.
for now, but I'll be dropping down next turn.
Okay. So for everyone else's intents purposes, Wretch is up above, but standing on the remaining wall supports that are there. Nash.
All right. So I'm going to attempt to break free,
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
and I get to upgrade it twice.
Nice. What for?
Size matters.
Right.
Nice.
You said athletics, right?
Yep. I got 3 and
Yep.
2.
Four and 4.
Nice. You break free.
Can I do anything with the extra advantage?
No, not really. Not for this.
Okay. All right. And now,
I'll let you
Nice.
recover.
Smack 'em.
I'll let you recover a strain.
okay. I couldn't even remember if I even had any strain, but I do have strain. Snicky smack him.
I got 2 and a despair.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm gonna read these as dice. So I have the triumph die plus 5 success. So a total of 6 success and 3 advantage.
6 success and 3 advantage.
And a triumph.
And a triumph. Okay. Do you want to cancel out the despair, or do you want to do something else?
Yes.
with your turn? Okay. In that case, I just have the 2 failure.
Alright. So that gets rid of those 2. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pierce 2. And
Nice.
I have what did you have to cancel out advantage?
Nothing.
Nothing to cancel advantage. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to say he gets knocked off balance and receives a setback on his next check. So that's 2 of the advantage. And he's going to suffer another strain.
Okay, so he said he gets a setback on his next check.
Yep.
All right.
So I don't know if that counts for this next attack I'm throwing at him or not. But I'm throwing another attack at him.
The setback is not for that. It's for when he attempts to do something to you.
I didn't expect it to. I was just pointing it out because I didn't know.
Yep. Thank you. We got 3 and 1.
5 and 3. Nope, 5 and 4.
All right.
You said 3 and 1, so that gets rid of these. That's gonna be 10 pierce 2.
Wow, yeah. So, as you are smashing into him, so 10 pierce 2. Something that you notice is that your weapon is doing very, very solid damage to him. You didn't really have any impacts with him earlier, but Wretch, as you look down below, you can tell that there seems to be a loss of vigor to Einval. Maybe it's not direct sunlight. Maybe it's day. Just being day that is harmful to these creatures.
And then he's gonna suffer another strain, and I'm gonna recover an HP.
All right. And with that, he is going to spend his legendary action as you cave in part of his chest, and he reaches up to protect himself. He reaches out, and again you cut off one of his hands, and he screeches, and he reaches down, and he fumbles around, and he finds another limb to push up into his where his limb was severed, and now he's got this ungainly, kind of longer whip-like limb that he's attempting to keep his pieces together. And so he heals the crit that he did to him earlier with his legendary action. And then the ghouls up top now turn as the floor is now completely exposed to them. They look around and they pinpoint Wretch moving along the top of the wall, and they're going to spit at you. I need you to give me a. You know what? I'll have melee defense or coordination at this point. With you being up there.
Melee defense?
Sorry, ranged defense or coordination.
Melee is better for me,
Coordination.
but
no,
melee is better for me, but I thought I figured that was a slip.
Yeah. Which one do you want to do on this?
I'll do coordination.
Okay. So you're attempting to dodge the acids. Let's see here.
Spittle.
Yeah.
2.
That is 2 and 1, sir.
Oh, sorry. I got this. You see him like and spit at you, and you're like as you're like I would almost say like what's the Captain Jack Sparrowing across this like ground area and managing to dodge them left and right.
Josh,
unfortunately,
that was the perfect opportunity to pull in Haktua.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the other group is going to shoot at you from the other side as well. Give me the same roll here.
1.
Unfortunately, the acid gets on you, and with the coordination roll, I'm going to have you fall off the side and down onto the other side there. I need you to give me another coordination roll, and you suffer burn 4.
Oh, I'm in the room? Lame.
Yeah, just from the direction of them shooting at you. You know what?
Right.
Yeah, you just had 1, right?
Yeah, just 1.
Yeah, I had uncanceled threat too, so it is what it is, fortunately. Okay. So
1
you,
and 2.
you fall onto the limbs and corpse pieces here. What did you get for your coordination roll here?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay. So you take 3 damage as you land here on the limbs and some of the acid. You're already suffering the burn 4, so we'll just keep that on you as it is. And then with that, it comes to Ilya's turn.
Okay, so how many maneuvers would I need with my Swift Improved to get into the chapel? Because I think you said that you can get down in there.
Yeah,
But-
so with your parkour abilities, if you activate parkour, you could get up and in there and drop down the other side with one maneuver, with how crazy speedy you
Fuck yours. Oh.
are.
Oh, okay.
Don't you dare put the killing blow after the 40 damage I've done to him.
40? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So, I am gritting my teeth, full of rage, and I'm going to spend a story point to use my breach ability, and I am going to swing at Einval with my flaming sword.
All right. Second one.
Oh shit! Triumph.
So as you look at him, he looks over at you, and you see his eyes kind of just go black, and there's this sickening little tendrils up into his forehead and down across his cheeks, and you hear your ears pop as you go to swing at him.
Okay. 1 triumph, 4 success, 3 advantage.
Okay. And then I gotta roll his melee defense here. So your sword flicks and sputters, and you, as it does, one of the enchantments goes out, but not both. Which one do you choose to have be muted for this attack?
The elemental one?
Okay. And so you cut into him. He rolled 2 failure, 1 threat. Your sword is a normal sword, but you still have breach.
I don't have my Godslayer?
Yeah, the Godslayer enchantment dampens as you go to swing at
That
him.
motherfucker.
Not permanent.
You chose to mute the elemental one.
I was confused when I was thinking maybe it was enchantment as in what yeah, okay. So that leaves me with a triumph, 2 success, 2 advantage. And breach, so that's a triumph, 2 success. Oh my god, I forgot how to do this without my god killer part.
Oh, I did my 2 last attack roll
7.
wrong.
So what would I count the triumph for as damage?
If you want to spend it on an extra damage, it's just you can spend the triumph, which has the base success, and then you could add an extra success.
Okay, 2, 4. So that's 11 non-soakable damage, and because I
Jesus.
have, yeah, be cooler if I had the Godslayer part. I fucked that up though.
So
I'm not done. I can hit him again.
So you come around, you parkour off this wall, flip around, and come down, and as he looks up at you, and your sword into him, buries down through his collarbone into his chest. And it gives you pause for a moment. He should be dead. And his body part separates a little bit, and he looks at you and goes,
I'm gonna do it again because I have unrelenting.
ah, nice.
So you're gonna run back up the wall and jump again?
Yes.
You know what? Counter spells. Reaction to add associate. Yeah, he spends 2 more strain to attempt to mute your second attack. Your sword bursts to life, it's pulled out of him, and you see him and try to refocus his energy once more. Let's see.
Oh fuck. Okay. I'm gonna use my horseshoe, and I'm gonna use my my breach ability again on the story point.
All right. This. Go ahead and swing.
Holy shit. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 advantage, 6 success, 1 advantage.
6 success, 1 advantage. I rolled 2 failure, 2 threat, and your sword bursts to life through his muting aura as it smashes down into him.
So that is
So your element-
12 non-soakable damage. Wait, how many failure?
2 failure, 2 threat.
Okay. 2, 4, 3. 10 non-soakable damage.
All right, which then the uncancelled doubles. And did you proc? Did you have the
Utility.
ability to proc your burn with that?
No, I
he
don't
rolled
have any.
less than you.
Okay, so then you have to reduce the damage to proc burn.
Yeah, I think I did that.
Okay. So he
Yeah.
sets a light from within as you see embers start popping and crackling in him. What's the burn quantity?
4.
Burn 4. Yikes. You hear him shriek.
Wait, burn 3, sorry. But still, yes, he is on fire, and I hope. Oh, take
Okay.
that, you motherfucker.
All right. Yeah, he looks like, for all intents and purposes, like you do not know how he's still standing, as he is on fire and pieces of him are starting to fly. Emery.
All right, so I see all the ghouls on the ceiling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Area, but like height-wise, like how is that in relation to me at the top of the stairs?
So you're about, you would have to crunch down in order to like see over to them, right? Because you have to come down the stairs a little bit because you're about halfway underground and halfway onto the first floor, whereas they are on the first floor, right? So you kind of have to like dip down and tuck and look around and over, right?
Okay.
Your head is just above floor level.
Okay. And so if my bear came to like this spot, would it, how close is it? Like, is it within attackable range to the guy there?
Not really. He would need to like that. They're on a platform up there. He would need to like scamper up that. That's a ledge.
Okay.
Think about him like trying to attack from here up and into the floor above us. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an awkward angle.
Yeah, well, he's gonna come back up these stairs to stand in front of me. And,
What I'll say is he can try, but I'm going to add 2 setback dice.
I mean, I'm just saying he's moving.
Yep.
And then guarding.
Okay.
Because hazard terrain. Yeah, spiky defense. Okay. And then I would like to turn my staff into some snicker-snacks.
Ooh.
Snicker-snack.
Alright. And that you could just throw up there if you wanted.
I would love to do that. Let's throw some snakes at him. Check.
Now pull out my snake.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Creatures.
What's the do not enter symbol over Einval?
That's the setback die that you gave him.
Means he doesn't kiss on the first date.
Alright. Sneaky snake's up there.
But I feel like this is at least like the 3rd or 4th date. At this point.
Right?
Can the snakes go, or do they have summoning sickness?
They do not have summoning sickness. They can go.
Okay, then they're gonna go.
All right.
They're gonna
stick downstairs.
nom.
All right.
So they do it a brawl attack, brawn of 3, brawn. Okay. And they get 5 success.
I rolled 1 failure, 1 crit. So take a strain
On my snake?
on
Or me.
you as a conduit for their cognitive attachment to you.
Okay. So that's 5 success. So that's you didn't block any of.
Nope.
Okay, so that's
1 and 1. Sorry.
1. Okay, so that's 9 damage. Pierce 1.
9 pierce 1.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second.
And there's more.
I gotta roll a die. You kill one of them.
Okay, well a character wounded by this weapon / snake must make a hard resilience check or suffer 4 additional wounds.
Because they are a minion group, that one is just immediately killed, and the poison doesn't transfer over.
Oh, I thought they were a group. Okay.
Yep. So they are a minion group, but the way I rule like poisons and stuff like that is that once it kills off one of them,
That makes sense.
that one's just dead because it's not like an AOE sort of thing.
Mhm.
But one thing that you do notice though, as you do kill one of these guys, these were like rivals last time that you were fighting them.
Yeah.
They seem greatly weakened and are now a minion group because you were attacking during the day.
Yeah, the power of sun. Compels you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So back over to
1 second. Dustin, I know you were saying, should we stop at this point? I just know it's 8:45, or should we do one more round?
Yeah, 'cause I still have probably a 3-hour drive back up to the Twin Forest tonight.
Yeah.
And I got work tomorrow.
Okay, doke. So we're ending now.
Sorry, I just
Yeah.
wanted to catch you at the top of the round if we.
Kind of sudden, but I just noticed the time myself.
Okay. Sounds good. Well,
We got this.
Einval gets to live another 2 weeks.
I don't know
I
if you want
thought
to
we were-
factor this in, Josh, because I did my roll wrong. He should have taken 2 more damage. Because I was counting my brawn as 4 for the last 2 attacks.
Sucks to suck.
I also missed a green die for both of my attack rolls, so could have been even worse for him.
Yeah, but you could only do it twice.
All right, so we're doing the 5th.